Hi, so let's talk about these sentences for translation. Number one, of course, you'll need to translate it. Number one, Labor calls me. I might say, analyze Wocott and tell me what it's doing in the sentence. What's its use in the sentence? So for Wocott, you would have to say third person singular, present active indicative, and its use in the sentence, main verb. That's it. That's it. And you're like, main verb? Yes, because later on we'll get to other kinds of verbs that are not the main verb. So that's right now we're going to start right out, main verb. Quid debemus cogitare? What should we think? What ought we to think? I might ask you about cogitare, so translate it. And I might say cogitare. What is cogitare? You would say present active infinitive. And you would say, what's its use in the sentence? Complementary infinitive. Or I might say debemus, and you'd have to say first person plural, present active indicative. Use in the sentence, go back to main verb. 3, me non amat. I might say identify, translate. He doesn't love me, she doesn't love me. Amat, third person singular, present active indicative. Use in the sentence, main verb. And that takes care of number one. Number 2, clementia tua multas vitas servat. Great. Translate it, your kindness saves many lives. I might ask about tua, and you would have to say nominative singular feminine. Use in the sentence, adjective modifies clementia. Multas, accusative plural feminine. In the sentence, adjective modifies vitas. Servat, third person singular, present active indicative, main verb. Yes, main verb. Number 8, I give myself to philosophy. Do, first person singular, present active indicative. Yes, use in the sentence, main verb. Philosophiae, dative singular feminine. Use in the sentence, indirect object. Number 13, rotam, fortunae, non timent. Rotam, accusative singular feminine. Translate it. They do not fear the wheel of fortune. Use in the rotam, accusative singular feminine. For use in the sentence, direct object. Fortunae, genitive singular feminine. Use in the sentence, shows possession right after rotam. Timent, third person plural, present active indicative, main verb. You see what I'm getting at here? Do you see the expectations here? I am certainly not going to ask you to analyze every single word, but you know what? If it's like number 9 here, this is a short one, you may have to analyze every single word. I'm going to keep going, though. Number 6, Fortuna viros magnos amat. Fortune loves great men. Fortuna, nominative singular feminine. Use in the sentence, subject. Viros, accusative plural masculine. Use in the subject, direct object. Use in the sentence. I think I said use in the subject. Use in the sentence, direct object. Magnos, accusative plural masculine. Use in the sentence, adjective modifies the direct object viros. And then amat, third person singular, present active indicative. Use in the sentence, main verb. Correct. Pauci viri sapientiae student. Oh, this is a good one. Pauci, few men study wisdom. Pauci, nominative plural masculine, adjective, use in the sentence, adjective modifying weary. Weary, nominative plural masculine, use in the sentence, subject. Sapientiae, genitive singular feminine, use in the sentence. I'm stumped. I'd probably say just a special verb. Studeo, the verb takes the genitive. Now, in all truth, I wouldn't be tempted to put that on the exam because, strictly speaking, that is not something that's been introduced. And I think I said genitive. It's actually the dative. Studeo takes the dative. But with that said, pauci, fair game. Weary, fair game. Student, fair game. Third person plural, present active indicative. Use in the sentence, main verb. And number 6. Oh, and what these are for, these are the sententiae antiqui. Starting with chapter 3, Wheelock breaks the sentences into 2 parts. The first part is the practice sentence, and then the second part, exercitationes, I guess he calls them, and the second part are sententia antiqui. And so if I've written a sententia antiqui here, that means it's in that second part. I didn't have any in chapter 1 or chapter 2 because we hadn't gotten there. Chemon, vir magnae famae, magnam benevolentiam habet. Chemon is the subject. We're not going to talk about that. That's a little outside of the scope for now. Habet, let's go to the verb. Third person singular, present active indicative, absolutely. Magnam, accusative singular feminine, adjective, modifies benevolentiam. Vir, nominative singular masculine, subject of the sentence, or an appositive that modifies, that expands the subject of the sentence, which is Simon or Simon. You're getting the idea, I hope. Chapter 4. Femina et agros et portam agricolae videt. The woman sees both the fields and the gate of the farmer. Oh, a lot of you didn't catch the placement of agricolae. Agricolae, yeah, it's genitive, and it could be of, but generally that genitive is going to go closely on the heels of the noun of which it is genitive of. That makes sense. And so the woman sees, videt, third person singular, present active indicative, main verb, femina, nominative singular feminine, use in the sentence, subject, agros, accusative plural masculine, use in the sentence, direct object, portam, accusative singular feminine, use in the sentence, direct object, and then agricolae, genitive singular masculine. Notice it's masculine even though it ends in that AE, and that is the, it's okay, that's fine, it is masculine. And it is possession following portam, the gate of the farmer. Actually, strictly speaking, it's both the fields and the gate of the farmer. 12. Infinitus est numerus stultorum. Limitless is the number of fools. Limitless, infinite. We can use infinite, it's there. Infinite is the number of fools. Infinitus, nominative singular masculine. Adjective modifying the subject, which is numerus, nominative singular masculine. Est, third person singular, present active indicative of the verb to be. Stultorum, genitive plural masculine, use in the sentence, substantive use of the adjective. That may be a lock of sentences on this one. That may be a lock. I kind of like number 4 in chapter 2, the Clementia. That may be a lock. Don't know. Number 5, chapter 5. Propter culpas malorum patria nostra non valebit. Because of the faults of bad men, our country will not be strong. I think malorum may be, if I don't use stultorum, I will definitely use malorum, by all means, because I want to get that substantive use of the adjective. I want you all to be able to say the substantive use of the adjective. Valebit, third person singular, future, active indicative. Nostra, main verb. Nostra, nominative singular masculine, feminine, and it is the adjective modifying patria, the subject. And number 6, multi in agris heri manebant et Romanos iuvabant. Yes, many remained in the fields yesterday and helped the Romans. Many, goodness gracious, I didn't realize there are so many that use the substantive use of the adjective. So again, it's a lock that one of these 3 sentences is going to be on there. In the fields, agris is the ablative plural masculine. And why the ablative? In takes the ablative. They remained, third person plural, imperfect, active indicative. Main verb, iuvabant, third person plural, imperfect, active indicative. And Romanos, accusative plural, masculine. Strictly speaking, that's it's the direct object of the verb iuo. And strictly speaking, this is also the substantive use of the adjective. So I know I went through there very, very, very quickly, and that's okay. I mean, you can pause this and go back and do all kinds of things. This will be on the exam. I want you to remember that these are over here are the component of verbs. First, second, third. The verb has every one of these things, and I've been rattling them off like crazy. Second person, singular, present, indicative, active. Third person, plural, imperfect, indicative, active. We have not had passive, we have not had subjunctive, we've not had participle, we've not had any of these other ones down here. Nouns and adjectives have these 3 elements: case, number, and gender. But this will be available for you to review and will be on the exam. So this portion, the translation and analyzation, is worth 50% of the grade. You've got what, 13 options? I will do however many I need till I get to roughly 50 points. I'm not going to sweat it if it's 49 points, 51 points, 48 points. I've even gone as low as 44 points. That's unusual though. So I'm just going to get 50 points out of that. So will I have all 13 of these? Probably not. 9, almost certainly. 10, possibly. I know, on the one hand, perhaps it's frustrating, but on the other hand, yeah, I don't reuse exams. These are the questions y'all came up with. And yeah, so that's just how it works. Some of them I've used before, I know that. But yeah, these are the sentences that you came up with, and so I just like it. I like doing it that way. So I'll put out a review on the other portions of the exam, the other components of the exam, what to expect there. But this will get you going. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks.